Hello class. Okay, so we have finally come to the interesting part, which is making our chat real time. And in this section or in this video, we're going to learn a little bit more about broadcasting and how it works. So I'm going to try to explain that in just a basic explanation so you can get the idea of what we're going to do for this section. So Laravel broadcasting, this is basically, it's a service in simple terms which allows us to send data over a WebSocket so that the data can be handled by a client. It can deal with things like notifications, like when you like someone's photo, when you post an article, anything. It also includes emails. So for our application, just to give you a visual explanation of how it's going to work and how we're going to use it in our system, I've created a Jamboard here just to explain a little bit more about how data is going to flow on Laravel broadcasting. Alright, so like imagine this one on the left here is, like this one is your device. So when you send the message here, you're targeting a specific user, maybe let's say user 4. So you are user 10 here maybe. So you are targeting user 4 and you send a message saying hi. Alright, this is the message. So the message is going to be sent to a broadcasting service provider. Like for example, in our case, we're going to use Pusher for this video. So the message will go to the service provider there, and then this service provider is going to handle the data via WebSockets. It's going to do that for us. Or if you have another driver, you can choose whichever driver that you want. There's Pusher, there's WebSocket.io, and then but what it does is that it will handle the information, and then the information will be sent back to the application, and then it's going to be checked first of all through channels. So channel is like a gate. This determines who is going to receive like the information. If you are targeting multiple users or just one user, so here you're gonna send some ID of the user that you're sending it to. So the message is sent, it hits the service provider, and then it comes back to your application, and here you send an ID. Maybe you want to talk to user 4. Alright? So here this gate is going to determine, or the channel is going to determine who is going to receive. In this case, 4. If 4 is logged in, and also like for the users to receive the notification in real time, they have to be logged in. Alright, so it's going to check, like for example here I've created like 4 different devices, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here it's gonna check if this user is logged in on device 1, no. Device 2 is logged in, okay, what's their ID? Is it 4? No, it's 2. So it's gonna leave this one too. It's gonna come here. This device is logged in and the user is 4. Is it and the user is 3, sorry. Is it 4? No, so it's gonna reject all these 3. And then it's gonna come to this one finally, the last one, if they are logged in, and then it's gonna check the ID if it's the same, 4 and 4. If it's the same, then the message is going to be delivered to this device, and we choose what we're going to do with that information ourselves. If we're going to display the message on the user's screen, if we are going to refresh their web browser, if we are going to, so it's like it's like you're sending a command to another person's screen, like that, like notifications, alerts, all that. That's the main reason of purpose of broadcasting. And with broadcasting, you also have to know a little bit about events and listeners, because when you fire an event, you listen to it. So here we're gonna use Laravel Echo to listen to the events. Yes, so when the information comes to your application, we're gonna listen for that message or data that you send via Laravel Echo after the authentication has been successful on the gate. So in our case, we're gonna use a special Livewire echoing that you can actually listen for the events direct in our components. Right, so like if you go back to our chat system here, if I send a message here saying how is it going, currently we're just like everything that we've done so far is just manipulation on our end of the screen, on our front end. So this message is being saved in the database and also being displayed on our screen. So on our screen everything is fine, but the other user will not be able to see or get the information unless we actually do something about it. So let me actually open a new tab real quick. I just opened a new tab real quick so I can just explain. Right, so here when you send this message saying I am good, alright, so the message is gonna go, but it's not going to do anything right now currently because we're not really using any broadcasting. And it's like most applications, they're going to use polling, which is refreshing this component every second to listen for the data. Now that polling is good, when you have like a small application, but when you have a big application like 10,000 messages, you don't want to be refreshing 10,000 messages for 10,000 users every second. That is going to cause a lot of problem for your server. So echoing, it only sends the data to the screen of the person when it needs to, or when the database has been updated. That's when it's going to send that message to a user. So this message here, I am good, it's not showing. Like it's showing here because I have, because I have clicked here. When I click here, I refresh the component every time. You see? So I click good, I click here because I open the chat again, so it's going to show the message here. So with Laravel broadcasting, when I send the message on this other end, the message is going to come and show into this component without the user refreshing the page like that. So which is some, a really cool feature that I like about Laravel. Yeah. So in the next video, let's begin by first installing Pusher. This is going to be our driver for our application to install. So you can just go ahead and create an account now, or we can create together in the next video. So see you there.